Broadcasting live from the basement of a Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday, and we're off mute, and I did it. I did it. I haven't broadcasted in like a week, and I feel kind of rusty, and I was telling Grey Cloud earlier, I was like, I'm nervous, like butterflies in my stomach. Like, I don't feel good right now, but I think it's just nerves, but I don't know why I'm nervous. But
you should be rested, not nervous.
Do what?
You should be rested, not nervous.
I know, right? Dude, I just got home from vacation today. like super early. Well, like not super early this morning. I left for the airport super early this morning at like 3:20.
Why?
Well, you know, my flight was at 5:45. Well, no, okay. No, I lied. So my flight was boarding at 5:45, but we left at 6:05. So I had missed seeing times and shit. So we probably could have gotten to the airport a little later than, 4. Whoops. But no, it was fine. It was fine because there's hardly any, there's nobody in security. Checking in my bag took the longest, and then I was a fucking dumbass because, again, 4 in the fucking morning, and I don't drink coffee, so it takes me a minute to wake up. And so the dude who took my bags, and then the dude who checked my ID and my ticket at security, they were both like, enjoy your flight, and my dumbass was like, oh, thanks, man, you too. And wait, no.
You never know. They could have brought they could have flown to work.
Right? Oh my God. So bad. and after the baggage dude, I was like, oh my God, I'm a fucking idiot, right? And then after the security dude, I was like, no, I'm really a fucking idiot. Because I caught myself after that first time, and I was like, all right, mentally prepare myself for the security checkpoint dude because I know it's coming. I know it's coming, and nope, I still fucked that one up. It's like, oh, it was so bad. Yeah. But yeah, so I got home today. But yeah, oh my God, my vacation was awesome. It was super restful. I slept a lot, which I have no problem doing. I just relaxed the whole time. It was great.
Well, that's what vacation is for.
I know. So yeah, it was a good vacation though. And then and then my flight back from I had 2 flights, right? So my first flight this morning that left at 6. The row I was seated in, there were 2 other people in there. And I know for a fact that there were because I had to ask them to get up so I could get to my window seat because I I don't know, I have to sit by the window because if it starts bouncing around and shit, I almost get tunnel vision. I'm like, so I had to sit next to the window. I don't know. I'm strange. I can understand. But yeah. And then so I was busy fucking around on my Spotify, trying to set up music to play for this flight to my connecting city. And I go to buckle my seat, and then the 2 people next to me are gone, and they fucking ghosted. And I was like, wait a second, Like, I know I'm still trying to wake up, but I know there were people here. So I ended up getting like an entire row by myself. So I fucking laid down and slept. It's better than first class.
Sprawled across all the seats.
Oh, fuck yeah, I did.
Well, as long as you were still buckled and they could see that you were buckled.
Yeah. You know,
Well,
I moved my fat ass over into the middle seat. I loosened up the seatbelt as far as it could go, and then I laid my happy ass down and like turned over and rolled on my side, and I was like, there. This is good. But yeah. So I haven't freaking talked to you in a minute. How have you been?
Busy.
I see boxes back there.
Was it Monday? Yeah, Monday we got a no notice announcement from the movers because the CEO is being reassigned.
Mm-hmm.
And they were 3 to 4 hours out to come start packing us out.
Oh.
So
that's convenient.
Yeah, that was very nice of said company. So, hours before they show up to start packing us. So I ended up leaving. I left work early that day to come home and help out. They did a pretty good job. They got most of the stuff packed out. And tomorrow they come to load all our nice things and get them out of here. And then work is work, dealing with new personalities, trying to find my way as a new individual in a organization that does not have this position yet or this program yet. So it's proving to be very, very challenging. But people are starting to come around, and hopefully I'll be able to brief the leadership next week on some findings and go forward.
Nice.
So, but other than that, it was a pretty relaxing weekend at least.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, minus the phone call we got Monday.
Right? That's only super stressful. Like, oh, some advance warning would be nice. Like, not just like 4 or 5 hours. Like, no, like, a couple days. So that way I can get my shit, ready.
Yeah. So that was my weekend and my work week so far.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. I haven't been to work yet. And I think, well, obviously I've been on vacation. Shh. Hush. But yeah. Yes, I say but yeah a lot, Jonathan Bravo. My bad. And shit, I was about to say it again. I think I work on Thursday. I think. I'm not sure. I have to double check. It would be if I do. It's a 12-hour shift in labor and delivery. So I think. Yeah. I don't know. So a little bird told me, Gray Cloud, that you are now a Game of Thrones fan.
No.
No, I don't believe you. I have very reliable little birds everywhere.
Is that so?
Yeah, it is so.
What are you, Various?
I am, and his name is Varys, not Various. If you're gonna pronounce the names, do it correctly. Ice. Oh my God! Seriously? Like, well, okay, his episode. What's the right word? Like synopsis, right? Is that the right word? That's a good word.
Synopsis is a good word.
It is, right? Look at me go, Miss Thesaurus over here. But yeah.
It's not about. We're talking about Game of Thrones.
Wait, do what?
Dale Labs in the Facebook live chat is not happy that we're talking about Game of Thrones.
Oh, you're gonna suck it up for the next 2 minutes. You'll be fine. So yeah. So anyways, I thought Ice's synopsis was hilarious. However, I got Forrest Whitaker eye when he was pronouncing some of the names. And I was just like, no, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. And Spanky, I know you're on the line. I am so proud of you for getting through that without yelling.
Or losing my shit.
Yes.
I'm a good front desk person.
You are. Because I know for a fact I wouldn't have been able to do that.
It was very difficult, but you know, fucking Tyrone and shit.
Oh my God.
I need to shut up now.
It was so bad. But yeah. But no, like I know you're a Game of Thrones fan because my little birds fucking told me like you're obsessed with it now.
That's a strong word.
Yeah. And I'm using it.
I would not use that word to describe it.
Well, okay. Well, what episode are you on right now? Or
I
did you
don't
see?
know. Somewhere in episode 3 where some guy got his junk cut off.
Oh, I know that episode very well.
He got up for it.
I mean, yeah, no. Let's be honest, he
happened?
deserved it.
But I got it. He deserved it, but come on. What a shitty way to lose it.
I mean, shit happens. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so speaking of like penis wounds, apparently a crazed naked man was caught on video in Chicago as he rushed at police officers who zapped him with a taser against the advice of at least one eyewitness who implored the cops to open fire. Oh my God, bro. Shoot his ass. Shoot that motherfucker. The cameraman shouts in the footage posted by LiveLeak. This is a time when you shoot people. Make up your mind, citizen. Do you either want cops to like use deadly force or you want them to like not use deadly force? Like, which is it? The video blurred his bleeding crotch area because of reports that he had chopped off his privates, though police could not immediately confirm any sort of mutilation to the post. Zeus, you're fine. Cops responded Monday to a disturbance call at Grace Street and Drake Avenue, where they found the bulky brute yelling incoherently. The man suddenly bolts towards a female officer while screaming, "Get out of here, bitch!" She orders him to stop and then fires her taser, which sends him tumbling to the ground. Officers attempted to calm the individual with negative results and were ultimately forced to deploy tasers and dry stun techniques to secure the man, police told the Post in a statement. He was taken to Swedish Convent Hospital for mental evaluation. Authorities described his injuries as minor. The person who shot the footage said the man had been vandalizing parked cars and taunting witnesses near an elementary school. Good God. The witness said the man had been rolling around on the street while still clothed. Quote, "People were around him and he started cussing them out and pushing them," Eric Gonzalez said. They left and he stripped, ass naked, in the middle of the street. Because why not? Kids, this is why you don't do drugs. But, like, what kind of man would purposefully inflict damage on his dick? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, you'd have to be in a weird mental state, or like you said, on drugs. It's just painful to think about. I mean,
right? Like, you would think that, you know, because like most guys can't even, right? Spanky, bath salts are bad, y'all. Legit, they are. They turn you into a zombie. But, you know, if you think about it, most men can't even stomach the idea of, you know, someone else's dick being cut open, let alone their own, let alone doing it to themselves. See, you're uncomfortable right now. Just thinking about it. Just thinking about it.
yes. Yes, I am. Because every guy will tell you it hurts when it happens to you, and then it hurts when you think about it or see it happen to somebody else.
Like, I really want to know the extent of his injuries. Like, I want to see pictures. I have so many questions.
You have so many questions.
I do. I have a lot of
you-
questions.
well, you lance overly hard dicks open for a living.
I do.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, you know, or yeah, see, Dale piercings also hurt. Like, I had a friend who got a Prince Albert, right?
Why?
I don't know. But then, not only that, he fucking gauged it to a 0.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds
Okay, so normal piercings, like, you know, the one on my tongue, right? That's a 14 gauge. The smaller the number, the larger the object.
just like for shotgun shells.
Yes.
Good, okay.
So the fact that this dude like gauged his dick piercing to a 0 means it was probably about the size of, I don't know, my fucking like finger, because I have small fingers. No, like for real. And then like at house parties or whatever, like this was a friend of mine from Fort Stewart. God, he was a fucking idiot. But yeah, he would like, we'd be playing beer pong or whatever in the garage, right? And he'd fucking like whip his dick out and start banging his fucking piercing on the table, trying to distract us. And we're like, dude, just fucking put it away. Like, nobody wants to see that. 1, 2, nobody wants that near them. 3, I just sank it like the ball in your cup. Fucking drink. But yeah. Yeah, he fucking ding 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 ding. It's like, God, stop. Like, you don't see any of us like pulling anything out. Like, no, like, we're classy broads about this. Keep it classy.
Yes, please keep it classy.
Then also the dudes that get the Jacob's ladder. Do you know what that is?
No, and I don't think I want to know.
It's a series of piercings along the underside of your penis. There's like 3 to 4 to 5, depending on length. Are you okay?
I'm good.
Are you sure?
All right, so changing topics.
Oh, okay. Are you sure? Because you know.
I'm good.
Something else that's really popular apparently in the Philippines is getting these like implants in their dicks. I don't know why. Apparently it's popular in the Philippines though, because that's what a couple of my nurses said, because they're Filipina. So they're like, they were telling us about it. I don't know. Apparently it's supposed to enhance her pleasure. I don't know about his. That sounds like it hurts.
Yeah, well, there's other things that can do that for you. I mean, Trojan's got a whole marketing for that.
Right? There's toys for this.
There's a whole nother line of work for that.
But yeah. Oh, so I saw something today that made me very upset, and it's gonna like piss off a lot of, you know, females in here, because like this is a go-to comfort food, right?
Oh shit.
And like not dicks, okay? It's something else. Like I'm not talking about dicks being comfort food. So Ben and Jerry's, you know, famous for its quality and eco-friendly practices, is under fire after a test uncovered a controversial ingredient in its ice cream. The Organic Consumers Association, or OCA, found, oh goodness, glyphosate, the main ingredient in weed killers like Roundup, in 10 out of 11 samples of the company's ice cream flavors, the New York Times reported on Tuesday. while the levels of glyphosate were well below the legal limits set by the EPA, the OCA argues that any presence of the pesticide product is misleading and potentially dangerous. Why are they putting weed killers in my ice cream? Why?
They're not putting the weed killer in the ice cream.
I think they're doing it on purpose, and I want to know why. Like, how am I supposed to enjoy Half-Baked when it's Shark Week and all I want to do is curl up in a ball and eat fucking junk food, and I can't now because Ben & Jerry's is trying to poison me? I don't appreciate this.
They're not putting it in there.
That's not what this company says.
Mm.
Do you have like insider info on this shit?
No.
Well, God
but
damn it.
With anything in agricultural industry, in the agricultural industry, there's going to be trace amounts of everything everywhere.
Mm.
So whether this came from, and see, they want to jump on GMO crops right away, which could be not even the cause of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have been trace amounts somewhere else along the product chain that got in there. They even said it's well below any possible concern of the threshold established by the EPA.
Mm. I mean, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Ugh. So bad. Oh, okay.
Now, I'm not saying it's good, but depending on what the levels were, and you'd actually have to read the report to understand what levels of glyphosate are in there. You'd probably have to eat a shit ton of Ben & Jerry's to be sick. In fact, you'd probably die from consuming the Ben & Jerry's ice cream, from the ice cream standpoint of it, before the amount of Roundup ingredient would probably kill you. But because
Allegedly.
everybody's so anti-fucking GMO.
I'm sorry. I don't want Roundup in my freaking Half-Baked.
I don't want Roundup in my food either.
I'm just saying, like, okay, like I could, I'm in Texas, so I could, in theory, switch over to Bluebell, which, is always good. Bluebell is fucking phenomenal. However, they don't have Half-Baked. And, like, that is my go-to comfort food.
Right, but here's the problem with this news article, okay? The one I see when I pulled it up is that nowhere in here is a scientific sampling other than 10 out of 11. There's no reference to the amount. There's no reference to the legal limit established by the EPA. There's no limit on how many samples out of the 10, 11 they established and tested. There's not enough information other than those that want to jump on the bandwagon and start beating their drums that GMO is bad. This stuff is bad. We need to not allow this to happen so farmers can produce crops for places in the world that can't even grow their own fucking crops. No, they want to put this out of here. Give those people who don't understand how to read this or go look up data points or understand the agricultural process to begin with.
You sound like you're rather knowledgeable about the agricultural process.
I understand some of it, and I understand fucking words like organic, GMO-free, and anything else I can throw out there, all natural, fucking whatever, is for money-grubbing motherfuckers.
Oh.
Period.
I still want my Half-Baked, though.
You can have your Half-Baked.
Like, I don't think you understand. Like, I could probably eat enough to where it does get, like, lethal levels.
You would die from the Half-Baked ice cream before you died from the fucking
You don't know that.
Unless you're allergic to glyphosate, well, then you're half plant at that point.
Right, shit. Freaking. Okay, so yeah, so I mentioned that, that's my, like, go-to Shark Week comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so speaking of Shark Week, and not mine, Shark Week started on Sunday, right, on the Discovery Channel. And their big thing, I don't know, like, if anyone watched watches TV where it's like, promoting Shark Week, their big thing for the start of Shark Week, again, not mine, was this like race between Michael Phelps versus a great white shark, right? And like the whole show is titled Phelps versus Shark. Dun dun dun. Right? And you're like, oh yes, it's gonna be so good. Apparently, people are rather upset with the Discovery Channel right now because they were thinking that the Discovery Channel was actually going to put Phelps side by side in the ocean with a fucking great white shark, like shoot off a gun and say, okay, 100 meters, go. And thinking that, everything, the shark wouldn't, like, I don't know, fucking turn around and eat Phelps. I don't know. So a lot of people are upset. And apparently Twitter is, like a bunch of Twitter people are not happy about this. This one chick, she's like, call me crazy, but I thought they were going to put Phelps up against a real shark, not a simulation. I feel robbed. And apparently, okay, and like Phelps lost. I didn't see it because Game of Thrones, but allegedly Phelps lost to a digital shark. And then someone posted like a gif of Obama looking just super disappointed. And it says, America's collective disappointment when we realize that Phelps versus shark is all just science and simulations and not apparently a man versus an actual shark. Because, again, health and safety regulations probably wouldn't allow that.
Meh. Make them sign a waiver.
Right? Discovery says that they did not mislead anyone. The network told ET in a statement on Monday, quote, all the promotion, interviews, and the program itself made clear that the challenge was not a side-by-side race. In Phelps versus Sharks, we enlisted world-class scientists to take up the challenge of making the world's greatest swimmer competitive with a great white, Discovery explained. The show took smart science and technology to make the challenge more accessible, and fun. Phelps himself has been very open about not being in the water racing against a real shark. In fact, the closest he came to a great white was when he was in a shark cage off the side of a boat, and the apex predator tried to bite through the bars because, again, great white shark is going to do what comes naturally to it and eat everything. Like, just science and shit. and then there's people who, are tweeting about being on the Discovery's, like, sticking up for the Discovery Channel. Like, people who expected Phelps to literally get in the ocean and race a shark side by side are just plain stupid. Period. And then this other person said, Phelps versus Shark was Phelps going up against a ghost file of a shark, a la Mario Kart time trials. Not the same as a live race. And then this other chick was like, my mom is upset about the Phelps versus Shark thing because, quote, no one told the shark he was racing. Because
Shark mattered.
Yeah, Shark Lives Matter or something. I don't know. Fucking, oh my God.
I can't believe there's people pissed off about this.
Right? Friggin'. Something else people are pissed off about. Kid Rock is apparently 4 points above Stabenow in the Michigan, I think Stabenow? I don't know. In the Michigan Senate race.
Really?
Really. So,
yeah, but it's early.
It is early.
It's too early for that race. I mean, we're in 2017. There's still a ways to go. It's a whole year yet.
I know, but I still want to read this fucking article.
Okay.
So Robert Ritchie, better known as Kid Rock, is leading the 2018 U.S. Senate race in Michigan, according to an early poll released Sunday. The poll put support for the Trump-supporting Michigan native entertainer at 30%, 4 points ahead of incumbent Democrat Debbie Stabenow. I don't know. There's an E. Why is there a random E in there? 44% of respondents declined to pick a candidate. Among those who did state a preference, Kid Rock led 54 to 46%. Kid Rock's, whose nearly 3-decade career he's been at this for 3 decades.
Yeah.
Like, I only became aware of him when I was, I don't know, junior high.
Junior high.
Yeah, so late 90s.
Late 90s. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you were what, in college by then?
Wow. Thanks.
I don't know.
You.
Huh?
Not that much older than you. Jiminy Christmas.
You're 7 years?
Yeah, ish.
Yeah, so college?
No, not
Yes. Because if I was in like 7th or 8th grade, that would put you 7 years ahead of that. I'm not the best person at math, and I'll admit that shit. However, that puts you graduated from high school.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So again, going back to when we talked about this, when this story first broke about him running a run.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we saw it with Donald Trump, and now we're seeing it with Kid Rock. And like I said, I firmly believe that if he wins this Senate seat, it'll change the landscape of politics in the U.S. I truly, truly believe that, and it'll give credence and it'll restore faith and hope, hopefully, to the American people that anybody can run. Anybody can be a leader in this country, and they can go to Washington and make a freaking difference. And if we get that back in the U.S., if we really get that back, I really think we'll have hope for the future.
I do too. I like what Joseph said from Mixer. The race for senator ends with a rock off. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Let's do it. Yes.
Falcon 34, get your rocks off. Vote for the kid.
Right? Like, I mean, let's just face it. Like, he could come up with some pretty sweet slogans. Mm-hmm. I'll vote for him. But I'm not a resident of Michigan. Mostly because it's a mitten state.
If you were of a certain party, that wouldn't stop you. I'm just saying.
That's true. But yeah, I'm not. So, But yeah.
All right. So I got another story.
Ooh, I love your stories. Go on.
So, let's see here. So apparently, Defense Secretary Jim Mattis has ordered a review of all the administrative and training requirements that prevent trigger pullers and pilots alike from focusing on warfighting. In a memo, Mattis on Friday directed the services, the National Guard Bureau, and the commanders to determine what changes are needed to give each branch increased flexibility to organize, train, and equip a more ready and lethal force. Notably, Mattis has ordered a review of the requirements for mandatory force training, a la, what is that, 350-1? That does not directly support core tasks. The many hours soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines spend prior to deployment meeting the Pentagon required tasks that sometimes have little to do with the role they will actually fulfill when deployed. Now, I want to stop right there. I want to throw this out there for you guys to comment on in both Facebook Live and in the Mixer chat. What do you think they're going to cut first? Because I think this is going to happen, and I hope it does, because personally, I loved going to the range. Granted, I didn't like getting up at dark 30 to sit around for however many hours it took us to draw weapons and get the fuck out there. But time on the range is time on the range.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we need more of that, and I really hope it gets back to that. But I'd like to see what the nation thinks on what needs to go first, and then let's see if we can't push that forward.
Yeah.
Make our voices heard and shit.
I know before I left the classes that are the death by PowerPoints that I really enjoyed was the cultural awareness, I guess, learning their culture and hey, if you show someone the bottom of your foot, you just might as well have just shoved their face in the mud. It's oh, okay, I'll be fucking careful because I like to sit with my legs up and underneath me and crossed and shit. I don't want to accidentally offend someone, so I want to know what their customs are,
Yeah. Now, for going down range, those classes, those support the warfighter and enhance the readiness and force lethality as he wants to do. Mm-hmm. Because that makes us more engaging to who we need to win hearts and minds, if we want to use that term still. Duck Derek 77 in Mixer chat. I like that thought because that's how we did it prior to I think just after World War II. We wanted to flex the naval muscle. I think it was Roosevelt wanted to send the Navy around the world. Congress said no. So he sent them anyway with half the money, and they got halfway around the world, and they parked until Congress released the money to get them home. I think that'd be a great idea, actually. Flex the get them out there and show a force around the world.
Falcon 34 says, do what they used to let us do. After quals were done, they just put the targets up and you could just go blast at them. It's some of the best training there is. Get truly comfortable with the weapon. Ooh, I agree.
Yeah. So let's bring up the point while we're on this. Let's bring up the point of the negligent discharge or accidental discharge or whatever the fuck you want to call it when a soldier fires off a weapon and it goes in the clearing barrel and they want to hammer that fucking soldier for doing the right thing because the weapon went off into the clearing barrel, but yet you're going to hammer that soldier with an Arc 15 and make him afraid of that weapon even more. So now we have soldiers who have issues with qualifying and being on their weapon systems. Now you're going to make them afraid of it.
Yeah.
I think that it needs to go back to the way it was as towards me getting out was you get assigned all your gear, right? You get all this gear when you come into basic training, and now it goes with you. After your first CIF draw, you PCS with most of it now.
Mm-hmm.
Minus station-specific equipment, which probably stays on station. I think that needs to happen with a weapon.
Ooh, I agree.
I think you need when you come to basic training, you're assigned that weapon. That weapon is now yours.
Instead of having to redo it every single time you go to a new unit.
Right. And then how many times have you been in a unit, and Nation, I'll put this out there to you as well. How many times you've gone to a unit and you need to reshuffle the weapons and then you had a new weapon next time you went to the range? And you have to start all over from Battle Site 0.
Right. Ugh.
Start over, get re-zeroed, put lead on target, and then go qualify. Rather, if you get issued a weapon at basic training and you take care of that weapon, and then when you PCS to your first unit, it follows standard FFL protocols, or however the military ships them, it ships with you to that unit. Okay? So it's there when you get there. That is your weapon. Just like anything, like all the other gear that's on your CIF record, your clothing record, everything else you've been issued, right? And then when you get out, that weapon is serviced at third shop and goes back into the cycle. And it starts over with a new soldier.
Joseph Lowen says that would even work. That would work even in the National Guard. Oh, I agree with Mud Puppy. That goes with canines too. Let the handlers keep their dogs the whole time. I fucking agree with that because I have friends who, I had a lot of MP friends, especially in Germany, and majority of them were handlers. And my one buddy, he would get a new dog every couple months, And I'm like, well, what happened to the dog that you just came back from Afghanistan with? Like, that was like, you and that dog had a, like, it was no denying, like, him and that dog had a bond.
Yo.
And, like, they could pass qualifications and certifications, like, flying colors, right? But yeah, they get back from a deployment and they PCS the dog to a different station. And so now my buddy has to start all over from ground zero with a new dog that he's never worked with. And then luckily he was able to get his dog back. But then that dog came down with cancer, so that was sad. So yeah, so then he had to, get a new one. But he was able to adopt his dog.
Sticking Pond, if you can qualify at 300 meters with a bow and arrow, I would push to get you issued one.
Right? Oh my God, that would be badass.
I would be impressive, though. I would be highly impressed. I'll let you run around the battlefield with a bow and arrow. I don't care. Fuck.
Right?
Now, here's what makes it even better. He run around the battlefield with a bow and arrow, and everybody starts laughing at him, and then he starts laying waste to everybody.
Right?
So badass.
Right?
His targets would be smart enough to zigzag. Perhaps, maybe.
Right.
But I think
fucking Rickon. Gray Cloud hasn't gotten there yet, Spanky. Oh my God. Okay, so all right, we have to go back to Game of Thrones really quick. Have you seen any from season 7?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to watch it until I'm caught up.
Okay. Good. Because there's shit in season 7 that if you were to watch it, you'd be 1, confused, 2, spoilers. A lot of spoilers.
Okay. I will not watch them until I get up there then.
Okay, yes.
300-meter arrow has a time flight of 5.5 at 12 miles. Are you sure about that, Falcon? Have you done a side-by-side like the Phelps and Shark race?
Ooh, that would be good. Fire off a round down range and at the same time an arrow. See which one hits target first. Ah! But however, one of them has to be CG.
It'd probably be more cost-effective to CG the 155 round.
Just a little like dot as it goes.
No, Falcon says he read it on the internet, so it must be trues.
Oh, yeah. No, the interwebs. Yeah, no, everything on the interwebs true. Didn't you know?
Lie?
No. Everything on the interwebs is true.
Oh. But so to finish out the article, so Matt has also ordered a review of the retention or separation of permanently non-deployable service members, the civilian workforce hiring process, and he also asked for an increased emphasis on counterintelligence training for each of the service's law enforcement branches. Right. So I want to stop on this article, this part too.
Okay.
So I get it. So when the drawdown happened, that's what we'll call it. We'll call it the infamous drawdown. There were a lot of soldiers that got caught up in that who were still good soldiers, who could still execute mission and still could do things. Now, because you are permanently non-deployable does not make you a bad soldier. God's opinion. You could still be shit hot admin. You could still be shit hot, 79 Romeo? You could still be shit hot fucking cook. You could be all these shit hot MOSs, right? You could find, I don't want to say this. There's no need to put them out right away because they can't deploy.
Yeah.
Okay. The time it takes for certain MOSs and certain skill sets at certain levels, I i.e., 10 through 9, or whatever it is, you're wasting valuable talent. You're kicking out the talent and hoping that you can easily replace that talent. And you can't. So I got it. If you're in an MOS, i.e., 11 Bang Bang, that needs to go down range to be effective in your job duties, then yeah, I think it's time for you to go. However, you can find a place for those soldiers. You can, because we need soldiers in the rear doing jobs just as much as we need soldiers downrange doing jobs. And it's a shame that we cut good talent for the good of the force to make way for guys that can pick up and go down range. And a lot of times it's the Army that breaks them. They get broken doing Army shit.
Mm-hmm.
Rucking, falling off a tank. You know, where's my golf?
Shots fired.
Shots fired indeed. Fucking tanker boots. You know he probably still has a pair of black tanker boots that he polishes every day.
Probably.
And he go, oh baby, I miss you.
Oh my god. Oh, apparently we've got some tankers both in Mixer and Facebook Live. Hey guys, what's up?
I fell off a tank once. I'm sure you did. I don't want to know how you fell off it, but I will believe that you fell off it.
I like what Falcon said. 3 points of contact at all times is sometimes just not enough. Yes. Yes.
Right, tankers. Let's hear some of the name of your barrels downrange.
I friggin' never been on or around a tank, really. Like, I've seen them, and I'm like, oh, hey, look, tanks. But, you know, they were the static ones that decorated Fort Irwin everywhere. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a tank.
So I was in an army unit for my first assignment.
Mm-hmm.
And
were you a tanker?
That's awesome. Well played, Sticking Pond. Anyway, so and I went down range with this armored unit, and the most distinctive smell was that of that M1A1 turbine.
Oh, the Abrams. I know that one.
That smell was a comforting smell when you were on patrol.
Oh,
because you knew you had big guns nearby.
Why, hello, Mike Golf. How are you?
My ears are burning. Somebody is talking about tanks.
Yes,
what's up?
We are talking about tanks. Gray Cloud.
What?
Gray
yes,
Cloud
I
was
talking about tanks.
Gray Cloud was talking shit about tanks.
It was not talking shit. First of all,
tomato
I said,
a dildo.
Has a boots that still polishes.
Oh, that's right. So, Mike Golf.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a pair of tanker boots still that you polish? The black ones.
Yes, I do.
Do you still polish them?
I dust them every once in a while. I don't have to polish them because they stayed polished.
Do you whisper sweet nothings to them?
I do. As a matter of fact, oh, look, here they are right here. They're the old German tanker boots, too.
Ooh.
Good one.
Very nice.
I have my old black tanker boots, and I got my suede tanker boots, too.
Oh, nice.
Yay.
What?
Nothing. I said those are probably really awesome.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I told them comfortable.
Well, the black ones aren't. Not near as comfortable as the suede ones are.
Those are the ones that have the zippers, right?
No. No zippers.
Well, I thought tanker boots had zippers because tankers didn't know how to tie a bow.
No, that's why it's a belt that wraps around it.
Oh.
All right. Gather round, children. I'm going to tell you about the history of tanker boots. You ready?
Gather round, children.
We're about to have a history lesson. And no, I'm not as old as ice, so I wasn't actually there when it happened. Don't know shit. There they were, World War II. Tankers. Don't know what unit. Didn't get into specifics when I was told the story, but tankers are sitting on the road. Infantry comes marching past, and one of the tank commanders noticed that the infantry guys, most of the infantry guys, didn't have laces. Asked them, hey, where are your laces at? Well, we're infantry, we walk everywhere, and wear and tear. We can't get new laces, so we're just kind of slogging through in slippers at this point, basically. So what the tankers did is they gave the infantry guys their laces and then took their belts and wrapped them around their own boots because they didn't have to walk anywhere. So you're welcome, Blue Quarters.
That's awesome. Well,
and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the history of tanker boots.
So you stole some guy's belts, and you're like, here, take my laces instead? That's a fair trade.
No, it's here's my laces. I'm going to use my belt to wrap around my boots instead because I don't have to walk anywhere.
Oh, that's true. Is it claustrophobic inside of a tank?
Jesus Christ, yes.
You look like I've seen pictures of you. I seen it. You look like you're kind of tall.
I am 5'11", not quite 6 feet, but I can stand on the turret floor and still see out of the hatch.
Is there a height limit for tankers?
I was told when I joined the Army that there was, and I was told that the height limit was 6'4". I don't know if there's any truth to that. But my first platoon sergeant was pushing that limit. He was a big dude.
God damn,
Best job I ever had.
Best job I ever had.
Which was what?
Being a tanker. Have you never seen the movie Fury?
No.
Yeah, have you not seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you're missing out.
We're basically all Brad Pitt.
Oh.
No.
You're all Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
We
all look like Brad Pitt.
Like in looks and everything?
Well, I mean, the movie's about me, and the closest they could get was Brad Pitt. They couldn't find anybody hotter to play me, so.
Oh my god. That's awesome. Thanks for calling, Michael.
You're welcome.
Oh my god. Right.
You're welcome for my service.
Right? Oh, I am. Thank you, sir.
Oh, anyways.
Right? All right. I'm going to go.
Right.
Bye, Michael.
Let y'all get back to it.
All right. Bye, dude.
Bye, guys.
All right. So to close out the article, to execute the review, Mattis has called for a working group to be led by the Defense Department's Undersecretary for Personnel and Readiness. That spot has not yet been filled by President Trump's administration, but is currently being filled by Anthony M. Kurta. Trump recently nominated Robert Wicke to serve as the Undersecretary for Personnel and Readiness and for Kurta to serve permanently as a principal deputy. The nominations are awaiting confirmation from Congress. Imagine that.
Right? Congress, who can't fucking get anything done.
Yeah.
Ugh,
So,
why does he have to wait for Congress to approve any of this bullshit?
Because that's the way it's written for the constitutions and things of said natures.
Stupid.
There's a lot of good points in that article.
Yes, I agree with the article. Except
I
for
think
that
it needs
last
to
one.
happen, and I really hope that it comes to fruition for those that are still dealing with that garbage. And for those of you who thinks it get out and either become a contractor or a government civilian, the mandatory training does not end. It continues and continues and continues.
No, I feel your pain. Freaking every, even like, the hostile side. Sure, I don't have to do, like normal army or like Department of Defense training, but dear God, like hospitals have their own fucking death by PowerPoints / fucking mandatory training. That it's such a pain in the ass. And speaking of, my CPR card expires soon.
Well, you should probably. Isn't that required for you to have? You have to save lives and things.
I mean, okay. So so this is my role. In a code, if the patient flatlines in the OR, this is my role. I push my fucking table and all my instruments to the back or to the side of the room, and then I just stand there. And I make sure no one touches my fucking shit. I maintain sterility at all costs. Now, if it gets to a point where, like, we're going through a couple rounds of CPR and people are fucking getting tired, sure, I'll break scrub and I'll start doing chest compressions. I'm fucking awesome at doing that. I've had a lot of practice. Never on a live person, but the mannequins I've done it on all lived. So
Well, that's good that they lived.
Well, no, because like they've got all these like high tech ones, right, that are like connected to computers and shit, and so they tell you like, no, you need to like go deeper. That's what she said, or or if like you're doing too shallow, or if you're not in the right, if you're doing them too slow or too fast, and that's what she said. And yeah, so I've always gotten like 99 or 100% on them, because sometimes I go a little too fast, because honestly, is there such a thing when you're trying to maintain circulation? Is there such a thing as going too fast? Personally, I don't think so. But, I'm not the one who put the standards out, and I'm not a doctor. So, fuck, right? Whatever. Just like with overventilation, I've talked to all my anesthesia providers. Is there such a thing when you're doing CPR? Meh. No, there's not, because you're trying to get as much oxygen into the lungs and into the bloodstream as possible. But, whatever. Holy shit, that was an hour. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have Misty Michelle on, and she's going to talk to us about the cemetery cleanup that happened at Hunter Army Airfield 2 weekends ago. Yeah. And Mud Puppy was there, and I believe he's going to call in as well. So everyone over on Mixer and also on Facebook, I'm going to stop the feed so that way I can get it restarted with our guest and everything. So just hang tight, and we shall be back here in a couple minutes. So, yeah. See you guys soon. All right, and we are back, and we're joined with Misty Michelle. Misty, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. Now, we were a little bit aware of what you guys were all doing. One, because we had Guardian Overwatch come on earlier this month, or late last month. I get confused. I don't know. And they were telling us about the horrendous condition that the cemetery on Hunter Army Airfield was in. And then, of course, we've got, Mud Puppy, who actually went and helped do this cleanup. And so we kind of have an understanding, or like a little bit of an understanding of what this place looked like. And so, yeah, why don't you tell us about it?
Okay. It's actually
Um,
it was
an
pretty
understanding of
bad.
what this
There
place
were
looked like
headstones to
and
veterans that were leaned up against one of the buildings there. There's headstones that are still that we haven't finished. There's still more work that needs to be done. Um, that are in trees, or a wooded area. There's an area in the far back that it was used as the dumping site to dump just flowers or trash on top of graves. And in back there in the wooded area, there's veterans, the headstones that were laid flat down. Um, the grass was, you couldn't even see the headstones when we first went out there. Trees were on on the graves, and there's a lot of that still. The tree has been removed, but there's still a lot that has to be done. We've had volunteers, not just with the 2 cleanups that we've had, but on their own time, and they would go out there and try to uncover a lot of the graves. Still has to be done. But there has been progress, from the last cleanup that we did do, but there's still more that has to be done.
yeah. So how did you first find out that, the cemetery was in this sort of condition?
It was Memorial Day weekend. I saw a video that was filmed down in downtown Savannah, and they were questioning people about what Memorial Day was.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people did not realize. So after watching that, my 8 and 9-year-old, I sat them down, at their level, and tried to explain to them what Memorial Day was.
Mm-hmm.
And then we took flags. I had no idea where I was going at first, and that's where I remembered there was a cemetery on post, and of course it had to have veterans, and that's how I came across Lincoln Memorial Cemetery.
Yeah. And now, so now this, and we know that, this one is privately owned. And as are a lot of, veteran cemeteries are privately owned. So is there no way to have these owners, like, keep them accountable for what they're doing? And, like, they're desecrating veterans' graves.
Right. Actually, this particular cemetery is privately owned, and it is not a perpetual cemetery. I've called several people. She won't register. The owner will not register with the state to make it a perpetual cemetery. I've spoke to the Georgia Cemetery Association, to the state. They are all aware of this cemetery. Mm-hmm. They've had complaints of this cemetery. And at this point, the only thing that we can do is to contact the city and let them know. We have families that want, they are at their wits' end. I've spoken to families. Several of the family members have addressed their concerns with the owner, and it's not been successful. But at this point, this is where the city, the alderman in that area, there's ordinance, and this is privately owned, but that is part of City of Savannah. Even though it's an island within Hunter Army Airfield cannot legally do anything with that. It is the City of Savannah.
Mud Puppy, do you want to tell us a little bit about, like, your experience being out there? Because I know you took your oldest daughter out there, and she helped.
Yeah, I mean, well, when I showed her the pictures when the station was first notified of it, when the call for action went out, she looked at me and goes, "Daddy, that's not right." Mm-hmm. And that's kind of a tearjerker there, in the fact that even my 11-year-old daughter knows that's not the way a cemetery should look like.
Yeah.
Especially one that's on a military installation. And it's no fault at all of the military. Yeah. But on how an individual can let it go that that long and get that bad. I mean, like Missy was saying, we were clearing out shrubs and overgrowth to open up a fence, and we were finding grave sites. And not just any grave sites, we're talking like World War I.
Oh, wow.
You know, and I was running a weed eater around and everything else, and I did the live video, and even walking through the woods in that back bad area that she was talking about, just walking through there, we were still stumbling upon grave markers and everything else. I have, like I've said on prior shows when we've talked about it, I grew up, my stepdad was with the Historical Society. He was employed by the Historical Society, and we used to go out to graveyards and stuff like that to that was the word I'm looking for. The Historical Society to refurbish old gravestones and stuff like that. I had never seen anything like this in my life. And I can tell you I've probably visited 100+ cemeteries with him across Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. Because people would call him in because of his expertise on restoring, old headstones and stuff like that. And it was just, it hits you hard when you see it, and you can't believe that, people that are our ancestors, when they're put in the ground, you pay somebody for the upkeep and everything else, but yet it's not done.
Yeah. Now, are people still being buried here?
Yes, it is an active cemetery. I know I had a volunteer out there last week, this weekend actually, and they said that there were new graves. Yes, it's active.
Like, this is gonna sound really callous, but like, you would think having, your cemetery look like that would be bad for business, I guess would be the right word to say it. Like, why would someone want to be buried there if that's what the upkeep is gonna be?
I get that a lot. There's a lot of these. That is actually one of the questions that I've been asked, or that has been asked. And a lot of these families had already bought their plots. A lot of these were already purchased. So they went with that, I guess, because they had already purchased, or a husband was there and the wife wanted to be. So those are the stories that I'm getting. And at one time, the person that had it was handed down. It was, that family member died and it would go to the next, and that's just how it went. But this particular, she doesn't care. I've tried to keep this in a positive light as much as I can, but it is as simple as she just doesn't care. That's exactly what it is. And that's why I'm encouraging for volunteers and for people to please contact, our aldermen and let their voice, because it's not right. I've sat with family members that have driven from out of state, that have contacted myself or other volunteers that we don't live in Savannah, we don't live in Georgia, but my family's buried out there. Could you please go take pictures? And pictures would be taken before and after. We've been out there with volunteers the day after the cleanup. Two of the volunteers that were there the day of the cleanup was looking for a family member's grave. And that happens all the time. We've had volunteers, as of this past weekend, putting out American flags on the rest of the graves that we didn't get to. And he's found more, I think like 6 more graves that we didn't even know about. There's a lot that still it has to be done but I encourage, and I've not done this before, but this is what it has to be now. This is where it's come to, is I need for people to contact the city of Savannah. I need for this to be done so that we can finish what needs to be done for these veterans.
Yeah. So we've got a question from Facebook Live, and it says, any idea why legislators or delegates aren't blowing up the owners' phones?
The only thing that I've asked, I've begged for help. I have begged for help from anywhere that you can imagine. And they just tell me it's not a perpetual cemetery. She will not register with the state. Those are the questions I'm getting. I'm told that if it doesn't belong, if the city doesn't do anything, then nothing will happen because she will not register with the state. I've even asked if they could take it away, but it has to be done at a city level because she's not registered with the state. And that's where I get. I've called the Historical Society. I've called the Historical Preservation. You name it, I've called. And it stops with the city. And I've been told that they can stop her from future burials. But again, that's at city level.
Yeah. So I'm kind of confused on the terminology. What's the difference between like a cemetery and then what was it, a perpetual cemetery?
Right. Okay. So from my understanding, and I could be wrong, so I don't want to be quoted on this because before Memorial Day, this was nothing that this is not, I do not go looking for cemeteries to clean up. From my understanding, perpetual is where the cemetery, from what I understand, and I'm sure the listeners can correct me, they charge a fee to the family members, and they do the upkeep. Perpetual, I think, is what that is. Non-perpetual, from what the owner of this cemetery has told me, is it's not a perpetual cemetery. Therefore, all she has to do is take care of the roadways, and the grave sites are up to the family members. Now, according to family members and to the owner, that there was one time she was charging the family members. However, the story that the family members have told me is that some of them have stopped because they weren't doing what they were supposed to do, so they weren't going to pay the money because she wasn't doing it anyway. Though that's what I got, from that.
This is a shitty situation. Misty, is Gray Cloud. First, I want to thank you for the cause you've taken up on trying to get this fixed and putting this back into a condition worthy of our brothers and sisters that are laid to rest there. The main question I want to ask is, if we get the nation out there and we start getting our guy, I don't want to say it, how do I say this? Start spreading the word so we can make people aware of this. Is there a website, or is there a number or anything like that for them to call and try to get them involved in this, or to get out there and help on the next Volunteers Day?
Well, I have the Lincoln Memorial support page on Facebook, and that's where the event would be set up. I have a date. It's not concrete yet. But we're looking at September 16th for the next cleanup. But all that would be on the Lincoln Memorial support page.
Okay. What kind of cooperation are you getting with whoever is running the cemetery right now?
Well, I'll tell you that we probably could have been. We had enough equipment and manpower, I believe, to finish the remainder of the cemetery. Maybe not as far as uncovering the graves, but with that debris in that corner that you'd have to see it. In the area that I'm talking about and along the edge, we could have either got that finished or close to finished if we did not have to redo what we already did. And I let that be known. This time, the first cleanup, I was trying my best to keep this as in a positive light as much as possible, but the pictures, obviously, you can't keep that in a positive light. I mean, it's people are pissed off. I mean, I was pissed. Everybody is pissed when they're walking on the cemetery. They're there to do one job and one job only, and they're pissed. But this last time, that's when, the alderman was called in, and she was on grounds of this last cleanup that we had. I spoke to the owner, and I told her that this cannot happen. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to be told what I want to hear. And I think in the beginning, that's what it was, because your actions are telling me otherwise. So you completely dismissed what I said when I said you need to keep up with this. And I've been out there, and my volunteers, and we've all been out there through the weeks, before and after both cleanups, to see what has been done. And I just, that's why I need anyone to contact the city, contact them, please contact the alderman in that district.
Like, hopefully, enough people will start to do that, and so that way she can get pressured by the city to, hey, you need to start holding up the cemetery to certain standards, otherwise we're going to take it away from you.
Well, something definitely needs to be done, and I can actually post on the Lincoln Memorial page the information for the alderman, her contact information, as well as her email and phone number, if people are willing to contact her.
Oh yeah, I would say that would definitely be a good idea. We've got the link for your Lincoln Memorial support page both in our Mixer chat, and it's pinned in Facebook Live. So people are looking at the links right now. So I'm sure your page is probably getting some traffic.
Well, I appreciate everything you guys are doing to bring the awareness, because there definitely needs to be something done.
Yes, no, I completely agree. Like, I've had these pictures on like a rotation, and they're completely disgraceful. There's no reason for this cemetery to look like this, let alone like not just this one, but like any veteran cemetery, whether that be, Spanish American War or Civil War or, even Revolutionary War. Like, there's no reason for a cemetery, especially of veterans, to get to this point.
Right.
So there's no excuse for this.
Sorry. John from Overwatch, Guardian Overwatch, he actually flew in from Texas, and when he saw the pictures, there's plenty of pictures, plenty of video, but he even said it doesn't do it. There was so much more to the cemetery. There's more than what he did not realize it was as bad as, even I've sent these pictures, but you just don't get a feel of it until you're on the ground. And several people, as well as John had said that the same exact thing. There's an area over here that are babies. It's called, I guess the owner calls it Baby World or something to that effect. There are babies, and they've had to uncover a lot of the graves of babies, as well as the veterans. But it's far worse when you're on the grounds than the pictures.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the strength it takes to not be angry, especially if this is your second time doing this. And it seems to have regressed between the two times. I can't imagine your strength when you confronted her, spoke with her while you were there. Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not. because I even asked her on the first conversation that I had with her. My intentions was never a cleanup. This was never, my intentions were to do whatever I had to do. It was never a cleanup. I was contacting CNN, Fox, all the national, all the media outlets here, everywhere, and then that was my intentions, and contacting. I contacted the congressman to have someone go out there. Those were my intentions. But then I realized that in the end, this has already been done before. What is that going to do? I can do all that to the owner. I can, but what is that going to do for our veterans? What is that going to do for the graves that are there? And the only way that I can ensure that it's done right is by making sure that I'm on the ground, that that I can see that this is being done the right way. And even if she does the maintaining what is already there, as far as cutting the grass and trimming around the graves, no one knew that there were graves back in that wooded area, or the tree that was down that wasn't for the hurricane that we had past October that had been there. No one knew that stuff, so that could have been easily covered up, so that's just why I did not go with that. That is why I came up with the idea, and I had no idea that it was going to spread the way it did, and I'm very thankful, because you can imagine close to 500 volunteers for 2 cleanups, and there's still more stuff that needs to be done. And we're uncovering graves. There's a private, and I don't know if you have that picture or not, that we found after the cleanup. And you can just see the entire tree has taken over, and all you see is the PVT of his headstone, and that is it. I don't even know how to even deal with that situation, but I just can't leave it there. And if I didn't have this idea of the cleanup, then I think there's a lot of things that would have been that private would have never been found. And that's a big deal. That was a person, that was a veteran, that means something. You just can't leave that there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. We need to, something needs to be done about this. So, but
I just got sent a quick article. There was a IG report out on from 28 June 2013 that somebody dropped in my box, and it goes through a couple of the things. And this particular situation about the civilian cemeteries and that are on installations and whatnot. And that's one of the IG findings, it looks like, is where and what are the legal agreements for these cemeteries, what responsibilities resides with the services to care for and maintain them, and what are the funding lines, if any, to maintain them. So the issues that have been brought up with the owner and whatnot on who can do what, and if they don't care, and how can we get that, it seems to be an issue, not with this just one cemetery, but apparently there are over 700 of them that have these types of similar issues. Now, whether they're in the same type of disrepair is yet to be seen, obviously. And this is this is now a 4-year-old document from this findings, but it begs the question on, has there been any follow-up since this 2013 findings being published? So I agree with trying to get out there and spread the word and get people involved to try and bring up awareness on this.
Right, and it's not considered there are a lot of veterans in there, and from my understanding, they don't because there are civilians as well as veterans, but there are a lot of veterans that are in that cemetery. The last Tuskegee Airwoman, Amelia Jones, is actually buried in the cemetery, and that's a big deal. And not I don't know exactly what would. I just know that they said it's not considered the that there are a lot of them in there, but I don't know if it's because it's privately owned or what would make that. I'm not exactly sure on that part. But there are hundreds of veterans that are in here, ranging from all the wars, from the Spanish American War One, World War II, Vietnam. Just there's all.
Yeah. Now we've got another question in Mixer, and has it been mentioned if the owner is willing to sell at all, and give it to someone who would actually, one, give a shit, and two, maintain it?
I have not asked her that. That is a question I have not asked her. I don't know what she would do with it. She doesn't care about it. That is for sure. She does not care. I mean, I could ask and follow up on if someone is interested. I don't know. Sorry, I don't have an answer to that. But that is a question that I've not asked her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have tried to see about, I've called to see about, what the historical society or historical preservation or somebody in that area could do, because, I mean, it is, a historical cemetery. It is, but I've not gotten any word back on any of that. And I've called a few times. So I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying every avenue that I can go to. But everything is pretty much sticks with it's at city level.
So we've got this kid named Steven in our Facebook live chat who says, last I checked, if I didn't maintain my, quote, goddamn lawn, unquote, for weeks, I'd get citation after citation by the city until I comply. So what's the difference here?
I love him. That's exactly what I told the city of Savannah, and that's exactly what I told the alderman, is that I live in the city of Savannah, and if I have trash and my yard is not kept, they come to my door. So why is it different? I don't know if it's because it's on Hunter and they forgot about it. I'm right there with Steve, and that's exactly what I said to them. I said that on Saturday. I've called up there to City of Savannah, and I've asked the same thing.
Yeah, and then Steven also says we should get all the rangers out there to tactfully acquire the cemetery. I mean, that could be fun to watch.
I would love to see that.
Pull security in a perimeter. Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Well, tell Steven to let me know when he plans to go out there, and I'll meet him.
Awesome. Well, Misty, thank you so much for coming on to our show, and for just giving us this update on the Lincoln Memorial Cemetery. And for those of you in Facebook Live or even Mixer who have just gotten here, go ahead and check out that pinned comment, and you'll be able to see what it is exactly that Misty is doing. And she's going to post in there some contact information on who you can get a hold of to really bring the heat down onto, like, from the city onto the owners of this cemetery, to hopefully light a fire under their ass to, maintain these standards that these volunteers are trying to get this cemetery back up to. So, but yeah, let it, and like you said, definitely keep us informed on the next volunteer date that you guys are doing. And I would love to get an update on how everything is going.
Okay, can I add one more thing? I know that we've had a lot of people that said that Hunter should be involved. and Mud Puppy can probably speak for this as well. There were a lot of military out there, and Hunter Army Airfield has been very supportive and accommodated anything that I have needed, and that's not their area. They legally cannot put people in that cemetery. They cannot put soldiers in that cemetery. The soldiers have to volunteer, and they have. There's been a lot of support from Hunter Army Airfield. In fact, at one point during our second cleanup, we did not realize that of how much debris that was already on ground from our first cleanup, and that was already there by the owner. So we had to actually stop making any more debris until we found something to do. And it was actually Hunter that came to me once we'd already cleaned, we had filled up the dumpster that was donated to us. Hunter, the deputy, said, "Misty, it's okay. Let's get it out of here. Let's put it over here." And had he not done that, we wouldn't have been able to do any more than what we already done. I mean, that's one of our biggest things is dumpsters, and ABC Waste. The second time donated, a dumpster, and the Hunter, actually, DPW donated the first one. So they are trying to help as much as they can do. They're doing a lot for me. So I don't want people to, say, okay, well, Hunter should be doing more. There's only so much legally they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were straight up. They checked my ID at the gate and let me come on. And I don't have a government ID anymore. All I have is a driver's license. I mean, the guy right there at the gate, he goes, "All right, you need to go down here, 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 and here," because I had no clue where it was.
Right.
So I mean,
the MPs,
Hunter was bending over backwards,
right,
helping everybody out.
They have been, and the MPs would come and direct traffic on the first one, and the second one they didn't come out to do that. But they've done a lot. They have done more than what they are supposed to do, that they should have done. That I've gotten more help from Hunter Army Airfield than I have from the city of Savannah. I contacted city of Savannah for a dumpster, and they were going to make me purchase it.
Yeah, that sounds like Savannah though.
Yeah.
But I mean, guys, there was bobcats, tractors, people with trailers, just trailer after trailer after trailer full. And I'm not talking like a yard trailer. I'm talking like a 10-foot utility trailer getting hauled out with branches and overgrowth, and guys just tossing stuff in the back of their pickup trucks and unloading it into these dumpsters and right beside the dumpster. And this went on. I was there for what, 4 or 5 hours, and it was just nonstop, vehicle after vehicle coming in and out, hauling stuff out.
Yes, it was a lot.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
So,
it's great. You try to think of the amount that all of those dumpsters and trailers and trucks can hold, and the fact that there's still more there is absolutely absurd.
I can tell you the dumpster that the second cleanup, the dumpster we filled up, he told me I want to say it was 26,000 pounds of debris in the one dumpster. But then there's double that on the side of the dumpster in a pile that we have to get up.
Yeah.
That Hunter let us put out there, but I've got to figure out how we're going to remove that now, because we have to remove it and have somewhere for it to go.
That's crazy. That there's that much trash and debris there. That's that's ridiculous.
There's a lot more that we have to remove.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was just putting a small dent into that back area. because that's where a lot of it came from, is the very back fence row in that wooded area where, I mean, there's trees growing around headstones. And I'm not talking like little trees. I'm talking like live oaks.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just see like a sliver of a headstone in there. There's trees that are, what was that last one that you posted, Misty? It was last week, the brick above ground.
Yes, that one actually that's actually a veteran as well. Is the bricks are missing and you can see inside to the vault, and then the other side of that same grave, the tree is going through it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you can see right down into into it, because it's above ground. So a lot of the bricks are missing. They've actually set them on top of it. Our volunteers did. It was all over the ground. But you can actually see down into and see the vault that is there. There are some vaults that are exposed, that are not covered up.
Oh, wow.
And that falls on the owner of the people that bury them.
Like if there's still
Yeah,
surviving
they're
family
supposed
members.
to close them.
Right.
And if they're not closed, that's where the cemetery owner steps in and goes, look, the job's not complete. You got to finish this.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Misty, besides crazy chickens trying to hold you hostage inside of your vehicle,
that was actually a scary situation there.
Whatever. But have you had anybody give you any flack about what you're doing?
No, actually, I have not. I mean, everybody's been supportive.
Good.
They're ready to get back out there. I've had the next day, the day of, actually, they're ready to get back out there and finish. They're excited. I wanted to take a little bit of a break. There's we have landscapers that are taken off that have been out there on both of the cleanups, and they've stopped what they're doing to come out and help. There's a Marine and a World War I Army soldier that was in the wooded area, and they're all in the wooded area. I get that, but I could actually see the top of their headstones, and I just couldn't leave it. So I was out there by myself, and that's actually comical. So they left work. Both of these landscapers have been out there and several times, stop what they were doing with their crew. And I have to make sure that I can at least get some. They've not asked for anything. It is me. And on the next cleanup, I want to be able to help with gas. And that's what that's one of my concerns right now, is to help them, because they've not asked for anything. But they also take their Saturdays and other days away from, putting food on their own table to come out here and do that. And they don't complain. They don't ask for anything. But I really want to make sure that I can help them if I can with gas. So that's why I was waiting till September for it's cooler, and to see if I can get some kind of assistance with those kinds of things.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not just the landscaper. These landscapers, I talked to one of them. I was there. These guys are paying their crews to come out and help out, right. Out of pocket.
Right. And they've asked nothing from me. Nothing. If anything, wherever you need us, we'll be. They've not asked for nothing whatsoever in return. they're just glad to get out there, and they just want to do the right thing. You know, these are our veterans, and that's just what that's it. They don't ask for anything. But for me, I've got to at least try to get some kind of something to help them with the gas. I know, you know, the Bobcat, it takes diesel, and the other landscaper, well, they do I guess marine fuel, and I don't know anything about this stuff whatsoever because, well, I don't even own a lawnmower, to be quite honest. So, you know, so you know, I've got to try to help them as much as I can.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you again, Misty, for coming on the show and giving us an update on everything that's been going on. We are a little past due for a break, but if you can stick around for a little bit, I know Spanky's going to want to talk to you, but everyone on Mixer and Facebook, again, right before we come back from our break, I'm going to end the feed and then I'm going to restart it. So we will see you here in couple minutes. So yeah, thanks for Misty, again, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about all of everything that's going on.
Well, thank you for having me, and like I'll make sure I give you an update on everything, keep you informed.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Take this photograph, tell me what it is you see when you look at me. Deep into the photography, I don't really need your sympathy, just tell me your thoughts. Have I got what they got, and is it a plot done for naught? Am I not like you because I do what I do? Who knew that I could lose a few of you cause I bleed blue? But it's true, I know cause I see it every day as I work and I sleep the day away. Like you I have pain, and like you I have fear. Can I pay all of the bills and still make it through the year? Will I make it home alive? Should I pray to the sky every day and every night? Will I hold you by my side? But in the public eye, I don't even have a heart. A robot of the system moving only when I'm told to start. Rip apart my art, I'm strong like a flower blooming. You got it all wrong, I know like I'm breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Call me a vet like a soldier. Green beret, 21 gun salute, don't wanna see today. In a constant war zone, in the home of the brave, where they hate the police until they saving the day. I got kids like you, a mortgage like you, so blue lives matter, and so does yours too. All this separation and divide, open your eyes. If you cut us all open, we the same inside. The only difference is I run to the gunfight. Your peace when it's chaos, when the people don't act right. But I'm under scrutiny for trying to protect me. You pull a pistol and I'm shooting for trying to contest me. I got a quick second to make a deadly decision. The media portray me like a kid for a living, like I'm cold with no heart, a brain with no thoughts, a body with no feeling, a life with no cause.
Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. I'm damned if I do, and damned if I don't. It's like every single time I say what's on my mind, they go for my throat, they spew evil words. If you are absurd, always grinding, grinning, and killing my soul with these verbs. Hold me down, like I can't gasp for air. I'm closed inside of a box, like I'm inside Fort Knox. Every time that I'm there, I don't know why they think that I'm different from you. All that's true is I'm a like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Oh, wait, we're back. And Gray Cloud is shielded his camera. So now you're just stuck with me for right now.
Just rubbing one out.
Probably.
He's using the Zuckerberg technique.
I don't know what the Zuckerberg technique is. Obviously, we are joined by Doc Madness.
Yeah, what's up, Monica's? Fucking Zuckerberg technique. I'm referring to, there was like this thing about, I think it's on some fucking tinfoil hat or fucking bullshit about like, even Mark Zuckerberg fucking knows that the NSA and Facebook is spying on your shit. As you can see here, and then it's like zoomed in, enhance on a fucking rando photo of Zuckerberg's fucking laptop with some fucking sticker or piece of tape over the fucking camera, right? So that's what I meant by the Zuckerberg technique. I know it's totally random and probably, or I'm fairly certain that nobody but me established that relationship, but I got a good laugh.
Oh my god. So how have you been, dude?
Oh, you know, just fucking living the dream. What are you guys talking about?
It's been interesting tonight, to say the least.
It has been very interesting. Let's see what has happened. We talked about St. Mattis revamping training for people. So that was exciting.
That's good shit.
Right? What else do we talk about?
Ain't nobody got time for con ops either, dude. Might as well fucking, like, I'm saying, like, if he's already fucking re-evaluating the admin fucking charlatans, if you will, might as well fucking make a fucking force-wide memorandum forbidding the use of more than one fucking slide in a fucking con-op brief.
I'll agree with you on that one, Doc.
I don't know what that is.
Always, one slide of con-op is always more effective.
That way, I mean, you know, some fucking dickhead ass fucking overzealous fuck like desk jockey is gonna fucking try to cram some fucking goddamn like 3 font bullshit into a 1 slide. Like, that should be like a natural selection fucking process for cutoffs for officers, though. You know, like if you're that retarded, like, goodbye.
I got one better for you. I know a fellow whoa who did a 1 slide presentation, but that 1 slide had over 300 actions on it.
God damn.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's fucking that should be punishable by fucking spanking. Like public and naked.
Ooh.
You know?
Like
fucking,
a public flogging?
Yeah. Fucking that should be punishable by fucking spanking. But not any fucking not like for the fucking perverts. I mean, obviously somebody will get off to it, but
yeah.
I like, seriously though, like with the fucking actions, when you said that, I thought you were gonna say included 300 links, because that would be just as fucking bad. You know what I mean? That's definitely like, you're missing a fucking point, dude. If you're fucking doing shit like that. But yeah, there was I remember like actual in fucking war having to do I think it was like 14-page fucking con ops for fucking QRF, dude. Like, that's a fucking like immediate action fucking shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's why we have fucking SOPs. This isn't NAM.
Are you
Toe
sure?
the line, Donnie. Toe the fucking line.
Oh my God. I want to be there when you like, do you, one, I have a question. I have a couple actually. One, did you ever give any briefings?
Yeah, dude, I was the battalion sex not rape NCO.
2, okay. Oh, even better. Even better.
That's a sharp. I think it's sharp is the fucking acronym.
Yes.
They said I was like the most qualified since I knew all about it.
2,
I think it was a punishment thing too. Like you're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn.
All right, now let me finish my second question. Did anyone happen to record any of your briefings?
Fuck no.
Oh
It's like rules of soft. You can't mass produce soft. 2, you can't record fucking sharp NCO. Like actually, to tell you the truth though, I did have some fucking chick come in and fucking shadow me because some fucking cocksucker
like,
that probably identified as a fucking like lesbian, all male unit by the way. But someone fucking must have gone to IG and made a fucking like secret complaint.
Oh my God.
My briefings were thorough.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
They weren't. They maybe were not formatted in the standard formats, but
they were thorough. God damn it.
Yes, they were. I'm an unconventional creature.
Tell them explicit.
Oh my God.
Fucking Brazers fucking watermark on each fucking slide, you know?
God.
I really wish I could have been there for one of your briefs just because I'm pretty sure they were hilarious.
Yeah. If people got to suffer through it, might as well make it entertaining for them.
Yeah, this is true. So Doc, I have a question again. I have a lot of questions for you.
All right. Standing by.
Just because
standing by with the question specialist.
Just because you're kind of an interesting character. What's your view on vaccinations?
Natural selection, dude.
So,
next question.
So you're not for it?
I don't care. It shouldn't be a fucking it shouldn't be a bipartisan fucking jerk off issue. It's like if you don't believe in it, then when your fucking kid gets Ebola, like don't fucking cry about it. Like carry on. Whatever.
Cuz I saw
it should be the fucking each person's fucking individual choice to fucking do it or not.
What about for like I personally I'm all for it just because, they're especially for, I don't know, kids who have fucking cancer who, if they get a fucking
you
cold.
Can't vaccinate against cancer.
I know, but I'm just saying if kids are if the kids get cancer and if they get a fucking cold, they can potentially die. But then you have these other jackoffs who decide I'm not gonna immunize that one. Thank you. Immunize my kids because fucking reasons. And then their fucking cesspool of a child ends up getting fucking measles, which is fucking airborne. And then now fucking Johnny Cancer patient gets fucking measles and dies.
But that's not a reasonable argument at all though.
Why not?
Because Johnny Cancer shouldn't be in the fucking school with fucking dirty birds fucking whatever the fuck.
Johnny Cancer has a right to go to school.
He does.
Good for him. They have things that it's called internet nowadays.
Homeschooling.
If the mountain doesn't come to Muhammad must go to the mountain, sort of thing,
Not in the millennial age.
Yeah.
Well, fuck them. I'm just saying, boo-hoo, fucking suck it up. I understand the premise of your argument is that the choice to not vaccinate can potentially have an impact on those who choose to vaccinate. And that argument in itself is somewhat faulty, because if you don't want your kid to fucking get measles and you immunize against it, then Dirty Bird fucking whatever the fuck,
Dirty Bird McGee,
isn't gonna give your kid the measles. He's just gonna fucking get it himself.
Well, like, my whole thing is, like, I don't understand where these, like, anti-vax people are coming from.
I do. I mean, I could present. That's what I'm saying. Is that
I don't.
My answer to it was very concise, because it's not. There are valid reasons, valid arguments from both angles.
I mean, but like the anti-vax, their whole thing though is like, all vaccines cause autism, which countless studies have shown over and 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 fucking over again that no, it doesn't.
Which vaccination?
See,
that's the thing, is that we're dealing. You can't make blanket statements about it.
I know that's what they're doing. And
yes,
so,
but those are fucking retards. They're not the fucking. Those are people that are fucking sitting around in their fucking goddamn granola fucking flip flops, without the ability to fucking do any fucking research for themselves, and with the time to sit around and Facebook and fucking like spread memes, like cancer memes about fucking vaccinations and shit.
Johnny,
like,
Cancer needs
they
help.
don't. Their fucking their opinion is about as valid as if my penis like fucking started talking to me.
Wait, it doesn't?
I mean, like, actually, not metaphorically or spiritually.
Okay.
Well, no, because they're so concerned about their kids getting autism that they'd rather have their kids get
if they're
polio.
that retarded, they're likely fucking gonna get autism anyway by getting it fucking passed down genetically.
Or through granola.
Sandals.
Yeah, dude, like, it's
Granola
fucking retarded.
sandals.
Here's the thing, right? Like, there is a valid argument against vaccination, but it's not fucking blah blah blah. My granola brings all the boys to the yard fucking argument, right?
Yes.
That's just ludicrous.
Wait, your granola doesn't bring boys to the yard?
No, dude, I bang bitches. I mean, I got nothing against people that don't, but to each his own. The thing is that, like, I will present to you a concern where a specific situation with vaccines is actually a fucking problem, right?
Yes.
So our anthrax vaccination. Now, I understand that this is not a civilian fucking thing, but there's been a lot of rumor mill shit, and then some not like widely publicized studies, and people coming out now with fucking potentially secondary fucking conditions after this fucking vaccination, this anthrax vaccination. Now, the problem with it was that it was not like it was like, yeah, this isn't a mandatory vaccination, but it's like one of those, like, yeah, you're still gonna fucking do it,
Mm-hmm.
And now there's cases coming out where people have illnesses occurring that are very likely like caused by this vaccination. Now, that's just an example by itself, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Which or motivator, if you will.
Yes.
Now, the thing that concerns me
mm-hmm.
is the testing process for a vaccination. So we don't know. Like, yes, they've tested it on a fucking rat, right? And we can say, like, blah blah blah. This fucking rat's lifespan relative to a human lifespan can be used as a model to determine the long-term side effects of a fucking certain chemical, whatever, right? But it's a rat, dude. Like our dicks aren't even fucking comparable, you know? It's one thing to say that, yeah, it's a mammal. There are some relatively fucking correlative features, but you can't say that, like, the full lifetime side effects, potential long-term side effects, are, you know, non-existent when you fucking only test, like the testing period for long-term side effects. In most cases, it's not even like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And then the shit gets pushed out to the fucking public. Well, I guess, like, what's the fucking greater evil here? Yeah, like, in order to prevent the spread of fucking Ebola, like, I know Ebola doesn't have a vaccine, but let's say it did. Like, we could justify a vaccination for Ebola for certain areas of the world where it's prevalent, at least, even if it had some significant side effects, right? Because we would argue that ethically it is relatively better to fucking die from fucking teeth in your ass than it is to die from Ebola. So my point is that, yes, there is an argument against vaccination, but it's more of a legal and human rights type of argument than it is an actual fucking, like, argument that is founded in scientific fucking causation or, well, correlation to fucking, like, actual occurrences of autism or what the fuck ever. So yeah, dude, I mean, I think it's like, it should be up to the parents to fucking decide for their kids, and for the parents to decide for themselves if it's their own thing that they're gonna get. And the thing is that you have pharmaceutical industry with fucking lawyers that are fucking very fucking like capable of fucking defending this. And those lawyers wouldn't allow a fucking pharmaceutical company to just like produce something and sell it to the public if it was actually fucking harmful in a fucking inarguable fucking manner, more harmful than it was
helpful,
you know, good.
Okay, I understand.
The thing is, like, look, we have on the other, like, similar to the argument of the vaccinations, something that is not even fucking really a major topic of discussion is the global human resistance to antibiotics.
Oh no, I fully agree with that. I think we overuse antibiotics for everything, and because of that, we're getting more like antibiotic resistant bugs out there, and we're creating like our own super plague of bacteria.
Yeah, that's where zombies are gonna come from.
Yes, no, I agree.
Mean, and it's not something that, like, yeah, I've seen it in America. I've seen fucking licensed physicians write prophylactic scripts for prophylactic use of antibiotics, and I look at, like, every time I've seen this, I'm like, dude, you fucking belong in a gulag. Like, but you sterilized first and then gulag. But the problem is not necessarily the American doctors. Like, yeah, that's within our control, kind of, and we could set a global example by fucking mandating blah 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 whatever the fuck. But the problem is going to be with the fucking goddamn third world countries where you got witch doctors prescribing fucking antibiotics for fucking, like, whatever. Like, think of something ridiculous that has nothing to do with fucking like, you know, demonic possession antibiotics.
One, there's no such thing as demonic possession antibiotics. I'm just throwing that out there. Two, I don't think it's gonna rest solely in third world countries. I think first world countries are also gonna be an issue with this, because of the abundance of antibiotics that do get prescribed. But then also it comes down to the patient and making sure that they actually finish their dosage. You know, like that's part of the antibiotic like dosage instructions on the bottle or on the box or whatever. It's complete all doses, like even after symptoms have gone away and like there's no more pus and there's no more redness, there's no more fever or whatever, you keep having to, like, you have to complete that antibiotic cycle.
Patients are fucking retards.
Yeah,
like,
no, I agree.
They're fucking, that's a given. The other thing is that, like, what is a third world country? My personal fucking definition or my line that defines fucking first or third world is this. You go into a fucking international port of entry and you walk into a fucking restroom, and if it smells like piss, you're in a third world country. So there's parts of America, by my definition, that are third world as fuck.
Stay out of Oakland. The whole city smells like piss. Oh, and San Francisco too.
And I'm an immigrant, so fucking.
Oh, you are?
Fuck yeah, dude. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, dude, I'm a white Hodge as fuck.
I don't understand what that means.
Never mind.
No, I
immigrant.
need to.
Let's
I
stick
need
with
to know.
immigrant.
No, what is a white Hodge? I need to know. Gray cloud.
I don't know.
No,
Duck mats.
You know everything.
Dude, we're good. We can carry on. It's slightly racist, but we don't need to elaborate.
But now my curiosity is piqued, and I need to know. Like, if I like ask my phone and I say, you know, like, okay, Google, what is a white Hodge?
No, it's not a real thing, dude. A Haji is a fucking Haji. Somebody
I know that.
Okay, and a white Haji is somebody who is not, like, is a basically a white person that is able to blend in normal society, but is not from a normal society.
Oh, okay. Well, high five. Did you like? Are you? Do we need to call ICE on you and like get you deported?
No, dude.
Oh.
It's not gonna. That wouldn't work anyway. I know people. People owe me favors.
You know the other ICE. Friggin'. Oh my god. It's crazy.
I know the ICE you speak of.
The ICE? Both of them?
Yeah. I almost went to work for ICE, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement.
Oh, that's...
For those of you that are, you know, not Mexican and don't sit around fucking poring over Wikipedia pages and fucking bouts of mania at night.
Oh my god. That would be my sister. My sister is all about like conspiracy theories.
Man,
it's so bad. She found out where
Wikipedia is a cruel mistress.
Dude, it is. Like, my sister will send me fucking links and she's like, I just came back from a rabbit hole, and I was like, oh fuck. But yeah, like, you know, I just got back from vacation, and you know, I don't really tell people where I'm going, right? Because it's none of their business. But my sister and I were talking, and she's like, you know, where are you? And I told her, and she was like, oh, you need to be careful. Like, that's the center of the Clinton, like, sex trafficking ring. And I was like, what?
Dude.
She's like, go to Wikipedia.
Have her fucking send me the fucking porn shit that she fucking, that she's into, because I'm feeling that she speaks my language.
Oh my God. No, she's special. I love my sister. She's.
Oh,
yeah.
So I got a story.
Stories, yes.
Yeah, news story. All right. So, an extraordinary government accountability office, GAO, sting operation revealed that the U.S. Department of Defense continues to play fast and loose with a program to transfer surplus military weaponry to law enforcement agencies, despite years of controversy over the dangers of militarizing local police departments or allowing weapons to fall into the hands of terrorists. The GAO, the nonpartisan congressional watchdog, best known for
Michael Moore.
to audits of government finances and waste, set up a phony law enforcement agency, complete with a bogus website to see how easy it would be to obtain surplus military grade. I love. Hold on, I gotta get on this. I love how everybody throws around military grade like it's the fucking best.
Right.
It is the cheapest,
really not.
lowest bidder shit out there that money can afford. You think everybody's running around with a Colt? No, they're running around with fucking whatever they got off the bottom room shelf of the discount store at Big Five Sports.
Right. It's the Exchange Select alcohol.
The PX Basics collection of weapons.
That's what we get.
Anyways, how he's military grade equipment through a law enforcement support program. The fake operation claimed that it did high level security and counterterrorism work and provided the Department of Defense with an address that led to an empty parking lot. This is fantastic. This is even better. Within a week, the phony law enforcement operation obtained over 100 items with an estimated value of $1.2 million. Millions. Including NVGs, simulated M16A rifles, and simulated pipe bombs. Okay. This story's going to be bogus here in a minute.
So,
who the fuck wants a simulated pipe bomb? Seriously.
Well, that. But then, too, they got a bunch of rubber duckies.
Probably.
Like, what? Simulated. Wait. Because you say simulated M16s.
Yes.
I think rubber duckies.
Yes.
How is that gonna get into... Oh no, they got fake weapons. I don't... The world's coming to an end. What?
Rubber duckies can fix everything.
Like... Alright.
What, Doc?
No, it's just fucking... It's some retarded shit.
I thought you were gonna go on one of your rants again.
No, it's not like... I really got nothing. It's that fucking retarded.
Holy shit. You made him speechless.
I know. I mean, Carrie. They blew up GTA. Yes, Joseph. They blew up GTA.
What? GTA? What?
Joseph GM in the Mixer chat is talking about GTA.
Fucking nerds.
Dude, you should play with us. That's what she said.
Okay.
No, like for real. Like it's a good time. We all get on there and then we all set fire to the city. It's great.
That's literally like the last orgy that I went to, and it's some people still in jail for that shit.
Dude, you should play with us. Well, why can't? Okay, wait. You just said it was like the last orgy you went to?
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay, I'm just making sure I heard that correctly. How many orgies have you been to?
You keep track?
Well, I don't know. Do you? I've never been to one.
Wow.
So I don't know what is customary, like, protocol for these types of events. Please.
Well, it depends.
Oh.
It's just like I don't think there's really a handbook. It's not officially regulated by Congress or anything.
Oh, okay. So that article, I wanted to talk to you about that article that I shared in our news chat about
Oh, really quick though, pro tip on the orgies
Oh,
thing.
yes.
Like, don't just have sex with the men. You know.
Oh no, I'm an equal opportunity when it comes to that. Don't you worry.
Anyway, moving on.
Well, Sticky just dropped a link in the mixer chat about proper orgy etiquette.
See, that's like pirates code.
Well, Sticky just dropped a link in the
more like
mixer chat
guidelines.
about proper orgy etiquette. Anyway, go back to your article.
Oh yeah, okay. So this article that I wanted to talk to you about was the lowered sperm count for Western men.
Oh my God, are we really? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I want to discuss this
That's
with
fine.
you.
By all means.
So why do you think it's full of shit?
Like, it's okay. First of all, let's fucking. Where should I begin?
Oh, from the beginning. The beginning is always good.
First of all, okay, so first of all, statistics.
Ooh, statistics. Yes.
Which would be the field of study required to actually fucking, you know, you'd have to use statistics to make a statement like that. It would have to come from some form of fucking mathematical type of shit, right?
Yes.
And I'm not retarded in statistics. Like, I'm just.
Oh, I never made it.
If I get into it, like, if I more than just beat around the bush around the statistics thing, like I will fucking go where no man has gone before.
Oh.
It's not gonna, and it won't be over quickly. And you won't enjoy it. So, all right. So, there's no statistical, like, first of all, the statistic evidence shit, right? There's rules for this shit that nobody fucking follows. You gotta fucking include your sources in your arguments, right? Which there are none. Not only are they not included, they are not referenced in, like, in passing. Like, this fucking study was the place, like, it's not quoted or fucking referenced anywhere in that article, first of all. Secondly, sorry, grammar Nazi pet peeve there. There's no fucking defining of variables done whatsoever in there. Western males. Okay, cool. What the fuck does it mean by Western males? It, at the very end of the article, it implies that the Western males that they refer to do not include South American, I think African, and what was the fucking other one?
Asian.
So, okay, like, we could even fucking dissect that further, like, Asian, which Asian, right? And I'm not even talking about the dissection of the different, like, Mongoloid Asian, like, categories. Like, what the fuck, you know? It's fucking garbage. Like, it's just really like, to me, I read it and I'm like, that's literally like me saying, like, haha, your dick is small. and that's it.
And I have no proof other than that.
I mean, it's just fucking. Who even fucking wrote that? That was some British fucking article, right? Like,
probably.
Some company, like some I think it was like some British fake news fucking bullshit.
You're fake.
They gotta secure their shit, dude.
And then my other one that I sent to you that apparently triggered you. About that okay, so the girl who thinks she's a boy and, like, held up a sign that said, like, men menstruate too. It's like, no, they really don't, though.
Yeah, that was just stupid. It's like, yeah, male menstruation is like when you fucking John Bobbitt yourself. For the kids out there, that's like when you chop your dick off.
Right? Well, no, like, so, like, did you actually read that article?
No, fuck no.
Oh, I did.
Me? Okay, I'm the guy who fucking spent a whole night researching why the Pac-Man's eyes don't get dirty when he's rolling around. Okay? And I'm not even gonna fucking, like, I don't even find it entertaining or worth any fucking time to, like, read that fucking, that's beyond retarded, dude.
Oh, no, like, it really is. Like, I read it just because I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? Because, like, that's what they're fucking teaching kids now, is that it is possible for men to menstruate. Somehow men have the ability to do this. They're fucking teaching this to children now. And it's like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And I think that
fucking Common Core.
I don't think it has anything to do with Common Core.
Fuck Common Core.
No,
fuck vaccinations.
What else?
Everything. Like, fuck whatever, dude. Like, if I'm not being detained, I'll be on my way.
Oh my god.
That was like a meme. I just saw a meme. Someone threw it in one of the chats. It was like, why did a libertarian cross the road?
Oh god.
Or the libertarian chicken or something like that. And it was like, why am I being detained? That was like the answer to the joke, you know?
Oh my god. But yeah, freaking my mom's yelling at me currently in Facebook Live. Hi, Mom.
Wow.
What the fuck is this?
I'm not the guy you let your mom listen to. By the way,
I didn't know she was listening. She just
Jesus,
fucking
dude.
popped up apparently.
That's
hey,
what
Mom.
that's what mothers do. They care and they
Allegedly.
they fucking spy. They're always spying.
Right. You're muted, Gray Cloud.
That's what she said.
What the shit? How'd that happen?
I don't
Anyways,
know.
Buttons and shit. So apparently
50%
Seattle is
of
a
the
place to
time,
catch your
every
salmon.
time.
Wait, hold on. Doc Man is quiet. What?
So apparently Seattle is a place to catch your salmon. Seattle caught salmon found to contain cocaine, antidepressants, and pain relievers.
Oh shit!
Salmon is reportedly one of the healthiest foods due to its high omega-3 content, protein, and essential fatty acids. But if the fish is obtained from the Puget Sound, is anything but healthy. According to a recent study, up to 81 drugs and personal care products were detected in the flesh of salmon caught in the Puget Sound. For those of you that you don't know, the Puget Sound is the area in the waters in and around Seattle and Tacoma.
Yes.
It's where the chop shops drop the fucking parts they don't need.
Dude, apparently.
Some drugs
Big
include
Harbor Bridge,
Prozac,
baby.
Advil, Benadryl, Lipitor, and even cocaine. The Seattle Times reported that the levels are believed to be so high because either people in the area use more of the drugs detected or because wastewater plants are unable to fully remove the chemicals during treatment. Another theory is that leaky septic tanks are contributing to the problem as high fecal chloroform
Oh my
counts were
god.
detected.
That's disgusting. Oh no. No. That's disgusting.
Said Jim Midor, an environmental toxicologist at NOAA's Northwest Fisheries Science Center in Seattle. The concentrations in effluent were higher than expected. We analyzed samples for 150 compounds, and we had 61% of them detected in effluent. So we know that these are going into the estuaries.
But it's not clear whether So first of all, the fecal matter, that was impossible that they found it in the fucking salmon.
It's salmon.
Shut up.
It's salmon.
You're a woman. Yeah, how do you know?
The L's silent.
She should know how to cook it. That's
Dr.
the important part.
I do.
Proved that a woman's brain is smaller than a man's. Anyway. Yeah, the fecal matter, that could have been fucking tested for in the water, but it wouldn't have been. It's not tested for in the fucking fish, because that's biological matter that would have been fucking digested and absolutely fucking retarded to fucking say that it was tested for and found in a fucking fit. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Statistics no go.
Hold on. There's more to the story for a second.
Oh, okay. There's more.
Samples were gathered over 2 days for the study, and both migratory juvenile Chinook salmon and resident staghorn scopoline were tested. Chemicals were found not only in the tissue of the fish, but in the water. And the researchers suggest it is likely the study underreports the amount of drugs in the water close to outfall pipes or in deeper water. Some of the drugs and contaminants found include Flonase, Aleve, Tylenol, Paxil, Valium, Zoloft, Tagamet, Oxycontin, Darvon, nicotine, caffeine, fungicides, antiseptics, anticoagulants, and as well as plenty of antibiotics. Intriguingly, the researchers are not concerned about the effect the cocktail of drugs will have on the humans who eat the fish.
Oh my god!
How the chemicals are affecting wildlife. Reportedly, Minor's other recent work has shown that juvenile Chinook salmon migrate through contaminated estuaries in Puget Sound and die twice the rate of fish elsewhere. So let's go back to your Ben and Jerry's argument.
Yes.
Here you go. See, it's fine. They're saying that the drugs found in the fish are not going to affect the humans.
No.
You eat your Roundup filled Ben and Jerry's and be just fine.
No, because, and I can tell you that's fucking bullshit. And that, we are going to be getting whatever toxins or whatever is in that fish. We're fucking consuming, and it's going to be in our own fucking bodies. Because when they freaking cut open dead whales, I don't know, especially like in the Puget Sound, orca, which fucking feed on all these goddamn salmon, especially if they're resident orcas and not the transient ones, because the transient ones eat seals, dolphins, whales, and shit, right? But anyways, with the orca being like the apex predator, they're eating, these prey items which have all these toxins and all these chemicals in them. And then all that gets stored into the blubber of the whales. And
who's eating orca?
No one's eating orca,
Bill
but people
Gates.
but people fucking still eat dolphin. Like, there's that huge fucking dolphin hunt.
No, dude.
Dude,
only if
yes,
it
there
gets into
is.
Your tuna.
No, they fucking eat dolphin in fucking Taji, Japan. They fucking do a dolphin hunt every fucking year, and they kill hundreds
They're
of.
fucking savages, dude. Like,
They
whatever.
are, but
Cool.
they're eating these dolphins. They're eating bottlenose and risso dolphins. And
Boo-hoo.
no, but the mercury content in this, in the dolphin meat, is toxic levels for humans to consume.
Yeah,
but they're not
you
fucking
know
putting
what
that
I'd
out
be more
there.
concerned about with the fucking radioactive isotopes that is, included with the fucking the self-induced fucking Hiroshima that they just fucking had.
Fukushima.
Right.
Whatever, dude. You know what I'm talking about? That fucking that bullshit with the fucking reactor meltdown.
So that seems like it's a cause for concern. Unfortunately, it's not likely the contamination will let up. According to one study, 97,000 pounds of drugs and chemicals could be entering the Puget Sound each year.
That's ridiculous.
So hold on, let's go back to this. So now...
So now I can't eat my fucking ice cream. Now I can't eat my fucking fish. This is
you
bullshit.
Eat fish? Just not
You can.
from the Puget Sound.
Just do your research.
No,
It's just like vaccinations. Don't buy your vaccinations from the same guy you buy your heroin from. Quality matters.
Buy your fish
Quality
and
control.
Yeah, both.
This is so disappointing. Salmon's so good too.
Dude, it's not. It's just means don't fucking be like a hobo and eat salmon from the fucking Gig Harbor Bridge.
The fuck is a Gig Harbor Bridge?
It's like it's a bridge at Gig Harbor.
Where's
What are you talking about?
Where's Gig Harbor?
In fucking Puget Sound. God damn it.
Is
I
it
wouldn't
really,
just be
though?
randomly bringing it up. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like where that is. I mean, I've heard that this is where car thieves drop off chopped parts from cars that they can't utilize otherwise.
I feel like you have firsthand knowledge of this.
Well, no, you can't. That's what I'm saying. Is like, no.
My friend
I
told
don't.
me.
I don't. Yeah. My friend Boris.
Oh my
Those white Hajis. No respect for the environment.
Oh my god.
Falcon 34's got a great point in the mix
about-
chat. Be great tuna now cures headaches and high blood pressure.
Right. Right. Seriously. Anyone who eats that salmon from Puget Sound, they've got to be feeling super good. Fuck.
Or super bad.
Either way.
Depending on what symptoms they had originally.
But let's face it, like their
This is-
depression's
this
gonna be
is fucking-
cured. Any pain they're
or
having's
gonna have a
gone.
fucking- or they're gonna have a major resistance to fucking antibiotics.
With that too. Oh my god.
That's the next thing you'll see with pot shops. Marijuana infused salmon.
Right. Oh my god. Well,
Some antifreeze for your salmon.
no. Salmon.
Little
column
my
A.
way.
Little column A, little column B. It's salmon though.
No, it's not.
Salmon.
You know, that's just like how when like people say go, but it's spelled like GEUAX or whatever.
LSU fans.
Yeah, when
Weirdo.
they're like go and you're like, but there's an X in there, and all these other letters,
Unless it's Van Gogh.
right? In there too. Like, god damn it. Fucking all these extra letters and shit.
Fucking immigrants.
Falcon, really?
What, Gray Cloud?
He's a falcon. My poo is greasy, but my vision cleared up and I can get hard on again.
Oh my god. That's disgusting.
Toy like a toiga.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Disgusting. Falcon, you're disgusting.
Let's see what other else news I can find.
Oh my god. I'm kind of worried now.
Why?
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. This has been great discussion, especially like Gig Harbor Bridge. And alleged.
In the name of the great Borat, relax, pussycat. In my country, they would go wild for this one. Not so much this one.
Oh my god. Okay, well, while you freaking look for another article, I'm gonna go over some housekeeping shit. So we do a show 7 nights a week, as everyone knows. Tonight is Tied Up Tuesday with myself and Gray Cloud, because we've had a little bit of a shuffle with staff. And then Wednesday we've got Jim Beam and Jay Reddy Thursday is Sergeant's Time with Ice and Doc Madness and Grey Cloud and Mike Golf. And Friday, we've got Friday Night Freedom with myself and Mud Puppy. Saturday is Saturday Night Savagery with Jay Reddy and Pookie. Sunday is still the Green Room with Jason and Charlie. Monday now is the Monday edition with Ice and Cuffs. So that, like, I know someone asked earlier where Cuffs was. She's on Mondays now. So, yeah. And our shows start at 8 p.m. Eastern. Except on Tuesdays, which they're going to start here next week. They're going to start at 20:30. So, or 8:30 p.m. for those civilians in Mixer. Simply because on Tuesdays, I'm going to be working 12-hour shifts. And especially next Tuesday, I'm already dreading it because I've got like a total revision of, I think it's a knee or a hip. I don't know. Either way, it's a fucking revision, and it's going to take longer than a normal one. And they suck. But yeah, so upcoming guests. Tomorrow we've got Darren Friedel from Veteran Ride Therapy Project. Darren Friedel will be back on to tell us about the progress about the steel horse ride they will be giving away to a veteran dealing with mental health issues. Their mission is to help any veteran with disabilities by modifying motorcycles or ATVs to suit their needs. They want to help by giving a veteran an alternate means of therapy to release the stresses of their lives. And then next Wednesday, right? Yeah, next Wednesday, August 2nd, we've got Mike Davis and Bruce Stortz from Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing. Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing is dedicated to the physical and emotional rehabilitation of disabled active military service personnel and disabled veterans through fly fishing and associated activities, including education and outings. And then next Friday, August 4th, we have Maria Martinez from Cochise Serving Veterans. So CSV was formed in October 2013 and is a veteran serving group comprised of members of federal, state, local governments, both civilian and veteran individuals, private agencies, and veteran service organizations. Through a collaborative effort, CSV provides a forum for addressing veteran issues through outreach, education, and networking. And then the Friday after that, we have Drill Sergeant High from Angry Cops. He's going to be back on, and he'll be back on to let us know what he's been up to lately. His Facebook page, Angry Cops, is a comedic taste on the life and times of a police officer and Army drill sergeant. So yeah, so that's exciting. And then also we are starting up a Warrior of the Month competition. So go to our website, which is WTFnationradio.com/warrior. And this is for junior enlisted. And so basically, if you're an NCO or even an officer, you can nominate someone in, like, one of your troops, one of your junior enlisted. So, and it's open for Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, and the Coast Guard, and all components of all. Yeah, no, we opened it up to the Coasties, too. We wanted to, involve them.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And it's open to all the components for each of those branches, like, Reserve or National Guard or whatever. I don't know, an Air National Guard. That's all I really know. And, yeah, so it kicks off August 1st is the deadline for submissions, and we will be choosing a winner on the 5th, and the winner of each month gets a pretty sweet prize. I can't tell you what it is because that would be giving shit away. And at the end of a year, all the winners of the month, all the month winners compete against each other for an even bigger prize. So it's a way that we're able to give back and also recognize some awesome soldiers, warriors. I'm Army, so I say soldiers, but it's everybody. So yeah. How's that news article going?
I have it, but you, if you want it, I can do it.
Oh, is it bad?
Let's see here. I lost it. Stand by.
Standing by.
Oh, there it is. Aha. Los Angeles, AP. A man was arrested on federal smuggling charges Tuesday after customs officers intercepted a shipment with 3 live king cobras hidden inside potato chip canisters that were being mailed to his California home.
Like Pringles canisters?
Kind of like a Pringles canisters, yeah. Looks like it's Korean writing. Yep. Rodrigo Franco, 34, was scheduled to be arraigned Tuesday afternoon in Los Angeles on a charge of illegally importing merchandise. It wasn't immediately clear if he had an attorney who could comment on the allegations. The 3 king cobra snakes, each about 2 feet long, were found in March when Customs and Border Protection officers inspected a package that was mailed from Hong Kong. Prosecutors said there were also 3 albino Chinese soft-shelled turtles in the package, authorities said.
It must have been fucking making a fucking mean soup, man.
Oh my god.
You know?
Franco admitted to an agent from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service that he had previously received 20 king cobras in 2 other shipments, but he said they all died in transit, according to court documents. Yeah, I would say they all died too. They don't want to be tracking down cobras in the U.S. Agents also searched his home and found he exchanged messages with several individuals in Asia about shipping turtles and snakes between Hong Kong and the U.S., prosecutors said.
Snakes on a plane.
Yep. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years in prison.
Holy shit.
Good, fuck him.
Right? Like we already have an issue with, like, imported animals, like, going out of control. Yeah, dude,
we're building a wall to keep the fucking Mexicans out.
Fact. Case in point. Sorry. That was rude. But no, you know, like, the fucking reticulated, like, you know, people have been importing, what is it, like, reticulated pythons or whatnot? Or, no, Burmese pythons. Like, whichever one's, like, the super aggressive one. I always get confused on that. But, like, there's one that's, like, you know, kind of passive.
Sounds
and
like a good nickname for a Dependa.
Right?
Super aggressive one. I'll take 2.
But no, like, there's one that's, like, a passive python, and then the other one's, like, super aggressive, right? And has been known to, like, eat small children. But anyways, like, these things have been getting, like, loose from their cages and, like, have been breeding, like, fucking bunnies down in the fucking Everglades of Florida. And, like, you know, there's fucking pictures and, like, videos of, like, these snakes taking down, like, deer and fucking gators and shit. And then we've got, like, then we have a big problem with fucking foreign fish invading our fucking rivers and lakes and shit. It's bad. Like, we need to stop importing all these exotic animals because there's a reason why they're not here in the first place. Like, leave them in China. Fuck. What?
Like, all I'm thinking about is, like, you know, mail order brides. And you keep saying, like, don't import exotics.
Well, then we wouldn't have a first lady, so I can't say, like, don't import all exotics.
Well.
Well, then.
Indeed.
Indubitably. Oh, my God.
Oh, dude, I was, like, watching fucking Family Guy clips on YouTube today.
Yes, because reasons.
Not really. Just
no,
not really reasons, but there was one with Stewie has ADHD, and that one was pretty good. But the better one was Quagmire's immune to all diseases.
Oh yeah, because he has everything.
Yeah, but the shit leading up to it is what's funny is, like, where they're they have like this thing where they prank. Each one takes turns getting pranked, like on alternate Halloween years. And fucking one of the pranks that they pulled on Quagmire, because that was like Quagmire's years, like it shows him in bed with like some chick turned around.
Oh God.
And the chick turns around and it's Joe the cripple with a wig on, and he's like, "Ha ha, Quagmire, I didn't feel anything, but you felt everything."
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's fucking funny.
Oh my God. Fucking
Totally sidebar. Totally tangent.
Right? Yeah, no, it was good. I like your sidebars. They're kind of entertaining.
Well.
Oh my God. Thanks for calling in, Doc. Like, it's time for us to get going.
Oh. That's You're welcome.
You were quite entertaining. It was great.
I fear that in the near future it won't be legal to be entertained by the mentally challenged, but while we can, please enjoy.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. This is great. So yeah, this is the end of the show. Thanks for hanging out with us and everyone over on Mixer and YouTube and Facebook. Yeah.
And Pornhub.
Oh, are we broadcasting there too? Shit. I'm way too overdressed for that.
Yeah, it's in the porn category of mind fucking.
Oh my God.
Rule 34, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm out, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of
and
course.
Warning shots.
Bye. Oh my goodness. Great clown.
On that note.
Right? Fucking, oh my God. So glad I put that little disclaimer like at the top of the caption. Is like, help us all. Doc Madness is coming on. But yeah, so thanks for hanging out. Like I said, thanks for hanging out, everyone. Really enjoyed it, and we will see you next Tuesday.
I'll see you all Thursday.
Oh yeah, well yeah, he'll see you Thursday. I'll see you Friday, but you'll see the two of us together. Together again. I know how to speak. Next Tuesday. Yeah. So, yep. Have a good rest of your week, you guys. Bye.
Yep. Shots.